Things seem to be moving in the right direction for the U.S. Brig Niagara as a new captain has been named. And tonight, members of a local volunteer group say that captain has his work cut out for him.
Brianna Malone joins us now in the studio with much more. Brianna?
That's right, Sean and Jen. Members of Protect Brig Niagara say they are happy to hear the news of a new captain, and now is the time to get to work in order to protect the future of the ship. The Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission has named Gregory Bailey as the new captain of the U.S. Brig Niagara. The communications director of PHMC says Captain Bailey is from Erie and has a strong foundation with knowledge of the vessel.
He was a volunteer for many years. He was there the day that the ship launched. That was September 10th, 1988. So he has been a part of this vessel, part of the history of it for a long time.
A local volunteer of the ship reacts to the news of a new captain after months of the brig being docked.
Some movement from PHMC that they finally delivered on something that they said they were going to do, even though it took 7 months to get a captain.
So this was a very important part of the process. We're excited to have Captain Bailey on staff now. So this will be imperative moving forward. The next couple of days we'll be getting everything set to go for the move.
But CVAC is concerned that more needs to be done regarding getting the brig to a shipyard in a timely manner.
Normally you would need a chief mate, shipwright, crew, so they still would need to come up with those folks. I kind of like to think of it as like a ball team that has a manager right now but no players. So, and your game is in another month or so. So they have a lot of work to do.
Another volunteer of Protect Brig Niagara says PHMC has noted Niagara needing 2 different shipyard periods. One shorter to scope out the amount of work and one longer to do the work.
The initial shipyard period was initially announced for fall of 2023. It's now being pushed back to late August, potentially fall 2024. So that's 1 year right there where Niagara was delayed in sailing.
And with the new captain of the U.S. Brig Niagara, Perry says he hopes Captain Bailey will execute and keep up with needed timelines.
But right now, Niagara is long overdue for a refit. If Captain Bailey and PHMC is unable to keep that timeline of Niagara being ready for that shipyard period by the end of August, it does put Niagara's future further at risk because winter is coming up.
And the communications director says the ship will depart at the end of August for those repairs. Jen?